Shout out to 82, welcome to MMO Gang. He made over $3,000 from Roblox, an online game that kids play, so I gotta respect that. If you want to be shouted out in the next video, just make sure to follow me on Twitter and send me a DM of your profits from whatever you do. Alright, let's get it. It's Poku Banks, and today we're going to talk about some entrepreneurial theme pages on Instagram that post. This is a very saturated market on Instagram where people give out advice which makes no sense or is unrealistic. And I'm pretty sure you've seen some of these posts where you're thinking, why the hell did someone make this? It's like they put no thought into it whatsoever, made by some 14-year-old. And what I'm doing today is to go through some of these posts to show you why some of these posts make no sense, they're unrealistic, and it's run by a clown. Firstly, shout out to Surface, Microsoft Surface Pro. These are better than MacBooks, so, touchscreen, all of that. Cool, absolute waste of money. Clubbing, cigarettes, designer clothes, luxurious watches, luxurious cars, and speed tickets. Clubbing, yeah, I agree, but I'm not sure why they use like a dice instead of, alcohol or something. There is no financial gain for going clubbing. You spend money for a ticket, and then when you get in the club, you spend more on drinks and whatnot. Cigarettes, yes, I agree. Waste of money. More cancer, yeah, I agree. Now, designer clothes, I agree, but I believe in moderation. If someone does like a certain piece of garment or whatever, and they have enough money in their bank account to buy it, then why not? If you have 100 grand in your bank account and there's a pair of shoes for 300 pounds, you can buy it. And what you need to remember is, once you have enough money to buy whatever you want, it isn't really a waste of money, as you don't even notice it come out of your bank account. I just believe in moderation, so your whole wardrobe does not need to be designer clothes. But yes, in general, it is a waste of money, but the reason we're doing this is to be able to buy whatever you want. If you want to buy designer clothes, you can go buy designer clothes. Just make sure you can afford it at least 10 times, not twice. I don't agree with that rule, 10 times. Luxurious watches. Now I'm pretty sure a lot of you agree with me, but a lot of luxurious watches actually appreciate in value, or they retain their value. So these are actually wise investments, if you're asking me. So if you were to buy a Rolex for £10,000, in 5 years, the most you lose, if you keep in good condition, the most you lose is 10% of its value. So the cost of owning it is only 10%. In reality, you'll probably sell it for, the same price, or if not even more, really. Rolex is actually known for holding its value. Luxurious cars. Okay, so it's clear that the person who ever made this post doesn't like fast cars, because there are plenty of rich people that love fast cars. A lot of people like to spend their wealth on cars. People like Ferraris. People like Lamborghinis. If they have enough money to buy one, they can buy one. Yes, they depreciate a lot faster than normal cars, but what you need to remember is that sometimes these cars actually bring happiness to some people. Yes, they may not be financially wise, but some people don't care about the depreciation. Some people just want to enjoy their life and drive a fast car. I wouldn't say luxurious cars are absolute waste of money. A nice luxury car can be an investment. People judge you based on what car you drive these days. Shout out to Ty Lopez. Now, this simply does not fit in with the rest of the items. The rest of the items are actually purchases that you decide to make. Speed tickets just come out of mistake or stupidity. Yes, they are a waste of money, but I just don't believe it's the right item to put with the rest of these items. Like, for example, I would have put lottery tickets or gambling or casino or whatever instead of speed tickets. I'm gonna give the post, I disagreed with 3 of them. Oh, yeah, I partially disagreed. Well, actually 4 of them. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. I'm sorry. 4 out of 10. But I get the post though. I get what you're trying to say. Buying cars, rich versus poor. So the poor person pays $500 a month for 4 years for a new car, looks rich. Reality, their net worth is £7,000. Now the rich person saves £500 a month over 1 year and buys a used car, looks poor. Reality, 5 million net worth. Wow. Now I disagree with this post. A lot of rich people lease cars. A lot of rich people finance cars. Why? Because of opportunity costs. So this means they don't tie their cash into depreciating assets. They can pay monthly in the car and pay their interest. But then with the rest of the money that they didn't put into the car, they'll invest it elsewhere to get a better return. So instead of putting poor, I would put, want to be rich or trying to be rich. I wouldn't say poor because, that's just a wrong word. Yes, some rich people do, save £500 a month and buy a used car. That's very true. Rich people can also lease as well. They do both. Want to be rich versus actual rich. I don't know. But the reality bit where it says net worth, that's I agree with, because if you read The Millionaire Next Door, you actually notice that the rich actually drive normal cars that you see every day, and you probably walk past many millionaires without knowing that they're millionaires. Why? Because they don't dress flashy. That flashy stuff is only in Hollywood. That's what Hollywood makes you believe. I'll give this an 8 out of 10. I just feel like they could have reworded the poor bit. Want to be rich. I get what they're trying to say though. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Stop buying these. Starbucks, iPhone, Nike shoes, Air Jordan 1s, start buying these. Starbucks stock, Apple stock, Nike stock. Now, how I see it is that, if I'm investing into stock, then that means I have a keen interest in the stock. So you'll notice that a lot of Tesla drivers actually own Tesla stock. Why? Because they have a keen interest in the company behind the stock. And I feel like they're the wrong products to use because, why would I not buy an iPhone? If I'm team iPhone, I'm going to buy an iPhone regardless and buy Apple stock. You could buy both of these, by the way, if you didn't know. I do get what they're trying to say though, so stop being a consumer and start becoming an investor. That is a good message. For this post, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I disagree with the phone there, but I get the message. But how to become a billionaire by 35. Damn, what's up? Number 1, invest in yourself. Number 2, save to invest. Number 3, go for 10 billion. Number 4, write down goals. Now, I feel like firstly you need to rename the title of the post, How to Become a Millionaire by 35. Bear in mind, there's only just over 2,000 billionaires in the world, I believe. 2.5k billionaires in the world. Now, to become a billionaire, you actually just need to solve 1 billion people's problems, if you get what I'm saying. Yes, anyone can go for 10 billion, but these tips are more for becoming a millionaire. That's what makes more sense. Or to become a part of the 1%. This is way too vague to become a billionaire by 35. I feel like there has to be a typo. If you want to become a billionaire, you really need to solve a lot of people's problems. Elon Musk, for example, he made electrical vehicles actually fashionable to actually drive. I feel like I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. I feel like these tips are very, very, specific to become a billionaire by 35. I feel like if you said how to become a millionaire by 35, this will make, I'll actually agree. But there's more specific factors for becoming a billionaire by 35. So either inheriting a lot of money or growing up in a certain country like the US or the UK, or your parents have political power, or your older sister made a sex tape. Kardashians. Poor versus rich. Now Supreme, the hypebeast brand, is poor. A Rolex Submariner is poor. A BMW looks like an M Sport, that's poor. Yeezys 350s, poor. Now rich, we got some books, we got the stock market, and we got a nice, just a simple house. Now this is just simply not true. There's a lot of rich people that buy the stuff on the left, and there's a lot of poor people that buy stuff on the right. A poor person can't afford the BMW, a poor person can't afford the Rolex. For a poor person to become rich, they have to buy the stuff on the right to become rich. They have to buy books, they have to invest into the stock market, they have to start looking into property. Some rappers, footballers do buy the stuff on the left. I have to give it, a 3 out of 10. I understand the concept. Like you're trying to say that rich people accumulate knowledge, they invest most of their money into the stock market. But both sides can buy both things. I feel like it should have said, rich people focus on buying this, poor people focus on buying this to look good. Rich people focus on increasing their knowledge or their money. Do you know what I'm saying? Why the rich get richer, the poor earns this much, spends this much. The rich earns this much, saves this much, invests this much, spends this much. Okay, I want to make some adjustments. So the poor earns this much, correct? Spends this much. I feel like it should be a little bit higher actually. Why? Because the poor get into debt. They earn £100, they spend £120. And the reason they can do that is because of debt, because of credit cards. And they keep paying interest on those credit cards, which is why they spend a lot more. So I feel like the spending should be a little bit higher than how much they earn. This is why they're getting poorer. Now a rich earns this much, correct? Saves this much. Okay, cool. Invest this much, higher. It needs to be higher. The reason the rich are rich is because they reinvest their money. It needs to be way higher. I'll edit the post and add my own one on top of it so you guys can see what I mean by this. But it needs to be a little bit higher. Spend this much is very, very relative. Depends on the individual, but the position where it's at right now, it makes sense. I think we can keep it there. But I'll give this one an 8 as well, 8 out of 10, because with the rich invest as much, the same as saves as much and spends as much. Nah, it's way too low. They should know that the rich invest a lot of their money. Rich man versus poor man. Rich, give a rich man $1,000, he returns with. I'm gonna assume that he meant 100,000. He returns with $100,000. Poor, give a broke man $1,000 and he returns with a new iPhone. Firstly, they're assuming that every rich person knows how to flip money and every poor person doesn't know how to flip money. They need to change it from rich man versus poor man to financially literate man versus, financially illiterate man. Not all rich people can turn £1,000 into £100,000. The only rich people that can turn £1,000 into £100,000 are investors. So property developers, property investors, stock investors, business owners. But rich isn't just those four. Rich includes footballers, doctors, rappers. These guys, I don't know if these guys can turn £1,000 into £100,000. So yes, it should be financially literate people. That's what it should be, not rich. And again, £1,000 into £100,000. That's 100 times returning your money. 100 times returning your money. I don't know. It's doable, but you give a rich person $1,000 and then come back with a new iPhone. You know what I'm saying? It should be financially illiterate person. They don't know what to do with their money, so they just spend it. But I get the message. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. A 6 out of 10. I get the message, but rich man versus poor man, nah. Not all rich people can flip £1,000 into £100,000. $35 billion mistake. Jeff Bezos and his wife recently divorced. Jeff is worth $139 billion today. His ex-wife settled the divorce and took $35 billion from him. Now, this post is making it seem like the wife is in the wrong or the wife is a thief. And I've actually looked a little bit into this actual case, and essentially, his wife was with him from the beginning, as in from when Amazon looked like this. His wife was helping him set up and run the company from the get-go. So, to be honest, I mean, she kind of deserves this money, really. This post makes it seem like Jeff Bezos, made Amazon by himself. He was single when he made Amazon, and then married this lady when he had a net worth of $100 billion. And then she messed with him, and then divorced him after a few years just to get the money. That's what this post makes it seem out to be, when in reality, it's not. And what's even more funny? Today, the 28th of June, 2020, he's worth $160 billion after the divorce. So I don't think he could really care less. He's still the richest person in the world. This post made it seem like Mackenzie Bezos is a gold digger or something. Don't buy a car until you invest in some assets. Most people think that just because you have money, you need to have a car. Invest in some assets that will make you rich enough to buy the car 10 times over. That's what the financially literate do when they have the ability to be wise with your money. Okay, so firstly, shut up. Buy a car if it fits your situation. As in, if you live far away from your workplace and public transport isn't viable, then yes, a car makes sense. That is an asset to you. It will help you get to work on time, and it'll make life very, very easy for you. I feel like this post should be rephrased to, don't buy a luxury car until you invest in some assets. That makes a lot more sense. Because, what's stopping you from buying a £500 car? The post makes sense. I feel like he should just put, don't buy a luxury car. Because, you don't need to follow all these rules just to buy a simple £500 car. A simple Ford Ka. No. Look, if you need a car, get a car. I'll give him an 8.5 out of 10. Literally, all this person has to do is, put luxury in front of a car and then it'll be a 10 out of 10. Literally. Okay. Net worth 30 million. Quavo. Shout out to the Migos. I love the Migos. Net worth 83 billion. Warren Buffett. Shout out to Buffett, the OG. The goal is to be rich, not look rich. Okay. Firstly, Quavo is rich. I mean, when is 30 million not rich? Yeah. And what's even more funny? The net worth of the person that made this post is probably $10. What a lot of people don't realize about these rappers is that, all of his jewelry and all of his drip, this is all for their marketing. This is all for their image. This is to appeal more people to listen to their music. It's just a part of the game. This is a rap culture. If anything, the jewelry is more of an investment. It helps their image. And I believe, comparing Quavo and Warren Buffett, two complete polarized opposite ends of the spectrum type of comparison. A better example would be like, comparing Quavo with, Adele or J. Cole. Someone that is richer than Quavo but doesn't wear all of that designer or all of that jewelry. That would make a lot more sense because, they're in the same industry, music industry, and one of them is richer but doesn't wear all the jewelry or the fancy, flashy bling. That would make the post actually make sense. So this one, I'll give it a 2 out of 10. Firstly, 30 million is still rich regardless. Secondly, they don't understand the rap industry. They don't understand the rap culture. They don't understand why Quavo's wearing those jewelry. But they don't understand that it actually helps with his image and his marketing and his brand. And thirdly, the comparison's just wrong. It's as if he didn't even think about it. So yeah, that's all for today. Those are the Instagram posts that I found that I feel like make no sense or have a little bit of flaws with them. And this channel is about personal finance and entrepreneurship, but I want to come across realistically. I don't want to give you some unrealistic advice, so I don't want to be like some of the other YouTubers that give you unrealistic advice. So, never buy a luxury car. or never buy design clothes, or never have fun. I want to come realistically. I just personally believe that you should be financially set before you make any moves that will hurt your bank account. But overall, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that all of these entrepreneurial Instagram pages give bad advice or unrealistic quotes, or most of them do give sound advice, but sometimes you be scrolling your feed, you see some bullshit out of nowhere. It's just like, what the hell? But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe for more. We've got 3 videos coming every week. Don't miss out. Hey, if you got to this point in the video, I appreciate it. Just comment below just to prove that you got to this point in the video, which post you think that made no sense to you, or which one required the most improvement. But I'll see you in the next video, man. It's Poku Banks, baby.